85% of men today are unaware of the signs of infidelity. Most are so caught up in their daily routines that they ignore clues that could save them from pain and wasted time. But here's the surprise. Knowing these signs is only half the battle. You also need the mental strength to face them with courage and without hesitation. This isn't about creating doubts or sowing fear. It's about protecting yourself from investing your time and emotions in a relationship that's about to end. Today, we'll go beyond just discovering the signs. We'll talk about developing the mindset of a man who doesn't allow himself to be caught off guard. We'll cover the key phrases women use when they start to emotionally distance themselves, the psychological reasons behind these behaviors, and how you can control your reactions, whether the hints are subtle or obvious. By the end of this video, you'll know how to confidently handle each one. Are you ready? Strengthen yourself. Write yes in the comments, and let's dive right in. The psychological truth behind infidelity. Infidelity rarely begins with physical betrayal. It starts in the mind, gradually and quietly. What most people don't realize is that infidelity isn't a spur-of-the-moment decision. It's a process. A woman doesn't just wake up one day and decide to cheat. It begins with small steps. An innocent text, a joke with a coworker, or a long conversation with an old friend. The real reason most men ignore this is that we tend to overlook subtle signs and changes. But if you ignore these early stages, you're paving the way for disaster. For many women, infidelity is about emotional distance before anything physical. When a woman feels emotionally neglected or unfulfilled, she may start seeking that connection elsewhere. This doesn't justify her actions, but it's a call to awareness for men to understand where the breakdown begins. The biggest problem is that most men ignore these signs until it's too late, hoping things will resolve themselves. But hope is not a strategy. Imagine this scenario. You're in a long-term relationship, busy with work, the gym, and your friends. You start noticing that your partner seems a little different. Maybe she's on her phone more than usual, or she's laughing at inside jokes you don't understand. You ask her about it and she says, "Oh, it's just my coworker. He's really funny." You ignore it because you trust her, right? But the bitter truth is that trust can sometimes blind you. Ignoring that gut feeling won't make it go away. If you feel something's off, be strong enough to address it directly. Don't accuse, don't panic, but be aware. Ask yourself, is she genuinely interested in connecting with me? Or is her mind somewhere else? By paying attention to these small changes, you start regaining control. You're not waiting to be blindsided. You're becoming more aware and understanding the patterns. The first sign, he really understands me. Let's talk about one of the most common phrases that should make you take a step back. He really understands me. This might seem innocent, but it's a red flag. When a woman starts highlighting someone else's ability to understand her, she's indirectly pointing to an emotional gap in your relationship. Relationships rely on connection, and when she starts finding that connection outside of your relationship, it becomes a problem that can escalate. Imagine this. You've been together for a few years and things have become routine. Suddenly, your partner starts mentioning her coworker Dave frequently. Dave gets me. He knows exactly what I'm going through at work. At first, you might ignore it, thinking she's just venting. But here's the mistake. Repeatedly talking about someone else as emotional support isn't just venting. It's building a connection that competes with your relationship. When you hear this phrase, don't ignore it or let it slide. Stay calm, but pay attention internally. This is a sign to assess the situation. Are you investing in a relationship where your partner is finding emotional connection with someone else? Ignoring these signs doesn't protect the relationship. It exposes it to further damage. If you're truly connected, you'll be the first person she turns to. If she's finding that connection elsewhere, it's a warning to reevaluate or end the relationship if necessary. Let her know, calmly and confidently, that you notice the change. A simple phrase like, "I've noticed you've been talking about Dave a lot. Is there something you're not telling me?" shows that you're aware and can't be fooled. This is about self-respect. Don't allow anyone to threaten your peace or make you feel less important than anyone else. The second sign, we're just friends. The next red flag is the phrase, "we're just friends." Now, don't get me wrong. We all need friends, and having a social life outside the relationship is healthy. But here's where things get complicated. Just friends can quickly turn into a gray area when boundaries aren't respected. Imagine this. Your girlfriend starts mentioning a new friend she's spending time with. Lunch, parties, even late-night texts. When you ask her about it, she says, "We're just friends. He's like a brother to me." You might trust her at first, but over time you notice subtle changes. She becomes more defensive when you ask about her plans or laughs at inside jokes you're not part of. In this situation, most men fall into one of two traps. They either ignore it, hoping it will go away, or they act out of jealousy, which pushes her further away. The key here is to stay calm and composed. Instead of reacting emotionally, start observing her behavior closely. Does she seem more excited around this friend compared to you? Does she prioritize spending time with him over you? These are the signs to watch for. Here's what to do. Be confident. Don't show your discomfort, and don't let jealousy cloud your judgment. If she's putting effort into spending time with this friend, step back and let her actions reveal the truth. True trust isn't about demanding explanations. It's about recognizing the signs intelligently. Remember, a woman who values the relationship will be transparent about her friendships, and there will be no need for secrets. If she's hiding or dodging your questions, it's a sign she's not fully committed. Show her through your actions that you won't accept being the backup option. This isn't about jealousy. It's about self-respect. The third sign, I need more space. Next is the classic phrase, I need some space. Now, space in a relationship can be healthy, but the truth is, when it's suddenly requested, it often signals a desire to create distance, either emotionally or physically. In other words, this is her indirect way of testing how much freedom she can take without you noticing or objecting. Imagine the typical scenario. You're in a relationship, and everything seems smooth. Then, out of nowhere, she says, "I just feel like I need more space to focus on myself." If this happens without warning, it's time to take a closer look. Maybe she's reconnecting with old friends, exploring new hobbies that don't involve you, or simply starting to pull away in subtle ways. In this case, most men's first instinct is to panic, thinking they've done something wrong. Don't freak out, and don't beg for answers. Give her space, but make it clear that your self-respect comes first. Don't be the guy who anxiously waits for her to come back. Instead, use this time to refocus on your own goals, your fitness, your finances, or even expanding your social circle. This does two things. It shows her that you have a life outside the relationship, and it reinforces your sense of self-worth. The fourth sign, I'm working late. This is one of the classic excuses. I'm working late. At first, it seems normal. In today's fast-paced world, many people have demanding jobs. But when this becomes a recurring pattern, accompanied by vague explanations and a lack of transparency, it's a major red flag. Picture this. Your partner used to have a predictable work schedule, with only the occasional late night. But lately, it seems like work is taking up more and more of her time. You ask her about it, and she says, "You know how it is. Deadlines are crazy." While this might seem reasonable, pay attention to her behavior when she comes home. Is she distant, tired, uninterested, or just glued to her phone? People who truly care about a relationship will make time, no matter how busy they are. If she's always too busy, the problem isn't her job. It's her priorities. Notice the patterns. It's not about confronting every little thing, but about recognizing when things don't add up. If she's suddenly working late all the time, ask yourself, is this normal for her, or is it something new? A good partner will value the relationship enough to be honest with you. If she's defensive or secretive, the problem isn't you. It's her. Here's the bottom line. A woman who values the relationship will be clear about her schedule, won't need to hide behind work, and will always find time to connect. Don't let yourself become the guy who's left hanging, making excuses for her absence. Acknowledge when things don't seem right, and if necessary, set boundaries to protect your time and self-respect. Remember, her actions will tell you everything you need to know. Trust what you see, not just what you hear. The fifth sign, maybe some time apart would be good. Here's one of the hardest phrases any man can hear. Maybe we need some time apart. This phrase is often the beginning of the end, even if she won't admit it. When someone suggests a break or time apart, they're signaling that they want space to explore their options without fully letting go of the security of the relationship. Imagine this scenario. Things have been tense, maybe there's been some arguments or disagreements, and suddenly she says, "I think we need a break to figure things out." The truth is, this break is often not about fixing the relationship. It's about testing the waters to see what other options are out there, while keeping you as a backup plan. How do you respond? Let her take her break, but don't wait around. If she wants time apart, give it to her. Completely. Don't text her, don't call her, and don't chase her. Let her realize that you respect her decision, but you won't sit around waiting for her. This isn't about playing games. It's about protecting your dignity and setting clear boundaries. What happens next? When a woman sees that you're willing to walk away, she'll face the reality of losing you. If she values you, she'll come back with renewed commitment. If she doesn't, you've saved yourself time and pain. Remember, you're not a backup plan. If she's not fully committed, it's better to know now. The sixth sign, you deserve better than me. You deserve better than me. It sounds like a compliment, doesn't it? But the harsh truth is, this phrase is often a cover for guilt. When someone feels they're not fully committed or they're hiding something, they may try to ease their guilt by suggesting that the problem lies in your worth, not their actions. Think about it. Why would someone who truly values you say you deserve better than them? If they cared about the relationship, they'd be working to improve it, not suggesting you might find better elsewhere. This phrase is often a strategy for a soft exit, a way to pull back without taking responsibility. How do you handle it? When you hear, "you deserve better," recognize what it really means. A sign that they're no longer committed. Don't argue or try to convince them of their worth. Instead, show them you know your value. Respond with something like, "I know what I deserve, and I deserve someone who's fully committed." The key here is not to get drawn into their doubts or guilt. Stay firm, and remind yourself that you deserve someone who values and respects you. The seventh sign, nonverbal signs of emotional distance. Often, the most telling signs aren't verbal at all. Body language, tone of voice, and subtle changes in behavior can reveal more than words ever could. When someone is emotionally pulling away, you'll notice a shift in how they act around you. Maybe they avoid eye contact, their tone becomes cold, or they seem distracted when you're together. These aren't just coincidences, they're signs of emotional distance. Think about the last time you were with her and felt like she was more interested in her phone than the conversation. Or maybe she used to lean in when you spoke, but now she sits far away, crosses her arms, or avoids physical contact altogether. These aren't just small changes, they're signs that something has shifted. How do you handle this? Instead of confronting her about every little change, stay observant without showing it. Notice these shifts internally, but don't let them shake your confidence. Often, people reveal their intentions through actions long before they express them in words. If she's pulling away, don't rush to close the gap. Instead, let her actions speak for themselves. A high-value man doesn't chase affection or validation. If she's distancing herself, let her see that you notice the gap but aren't desperate to fix it. This isn't about playing games. It's about maintaining your self-respect. Let her see that you're not dependent on her attention to feel secure. Your calm, controlled reaction will speak volumes. If she's truly committed, she'll bridge the gap without you having to say a word. Now, here are the best strategies for dealing with a cheating woman's strategy. 1. Managing emotions without losing control. One of the biggest challenges when facing the possibility of infidelity or signs of disloyalty is managing your emotions. Infidelity hurts. There's no doubt about that. And it's easy to let feelings like anger, jealousy, and frustration take over. But the truth is, Allowing your emotions to control your reactions is a guaranteed way to lose power in any situation. A man who can't control his reactions is easy to manipulate and will always be at the mercy of external circumstances. Here's the thing. Anger, jealousy, and insecurity are natural emotions, especially when you feel something is wrong in your relationship. But here's the difference between the average man and the high-value man. The high-value man feels these emotions, but he doesn't let them dictate his actions. He doesn't let temporary emotions destroy his sense of self-worth or inner peace. Imagine this scenario. You notice your partner pulling away. Maybe she's spending more time with her friends or being vague about her plans. Your instinctive reaction might be to confront her, demand answers, or even explode in anger. But the truth is, impulsive reactions rarely lead to the outcome you want. Instead, they often confirm her suspicions that you're insecure, which pushes her further away. Practice emotional discipline. Acknowledge feelings of jealousy or anger, but don't let them control you. Use them as fuel to focus on yourself, your goals, your fitness, your financial growth. More videos on emotional discipline are coming soon. Subscribe now so you don't miss any. Strategy 2. Building resilience and self-empowerment. Every challenge in life, especially those related to infidelity, is an opportunity to build resilience. Life isn't about avoiding difficulties. It's about how you face them and come out stronger. When it comes to relationships, infidelity and warning signs are painful, but they can also be some of the most valuable lessons you'll ever learn. These experiences reveal what you need to work on and show you what truly matters. Most importantly, they teach you about your inner strength. Let's be clear. Resilience isn't just about surviving. It's about using every setback as fuel to become a better, stronger, and more self-aware man. When you notice warning signs, face betrayal, or even feel the pain of a relationship ending, this is the time to invest in yourself. Use these experiences to clarify your goals, define your values, and build the life you want. Don't waste your energy on anger or resentment. These emotions only hold you back. Instead, focus on your personal growth and take control of your own story. Imagine this scenario. You're in a relationship where things start to feel uncertain. Maybe you see some of these signs and feel a mix of disappointment and pain. Instead of letting this define you, ask yourself, how can this experience make me stronger? Channel your energy into self-improvement, whether it's leveling up your fitness, advancing in your career, or developing new skills. Let her see that you're not just a man who can handle betrayal, but a man who uses every experience to become stronger. The truth is, when you invest in yourself, you naturally attract people who respect that strength. A man who knows his worth and continues to grow, no matter the circumstances, is a man who commands respect. By focusing on self-empowerment, you remind yourself that you don't need validation from anyone else to feel valued. Today, we covered everything. The signs, the warning signals, the phrases, and the behaviors that reveal when a relationship is starting to drift. These truths aren't easy, but they're necessary if you want to protect yourself from wasting time, energy, and heart. Remember, this isn't about paranoia or constant suspicion. It's about awareness and self-respect. Recognizing these warning signs is your opportunity to take control of your life, set boundaries, and build relationships based on respect and commitment. But here's the biggest message. Your self-worth doesn't depend on anyone else's loyalty. You have the power to stand strong, walk away if necessary, and maintain your high standards. Every relationship is a choice, and you deserve someone who values, respects, and is fully committed to you. Don't settle for less. If you found value in this video, show your support and subscribe to stay connected with a community of men on a journey of growth, strength, and self-respect. Your support helps us continue creating content that speaks the truth. Comment below if these ideas resonated with you. If you're ready,